your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. But I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
2nd and 1. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Well, first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Well, look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Second and long. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So here the Bucs backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
He enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't he?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns and 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
They got the win, so you got to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Yeah, he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And it's caught by Parker. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Gordon on 1st down. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay?
True.
So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. But on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. It might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side,
sure,
but not necessarily all the time.
Well, big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. From the 16, Cousins. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hey, D-line, let's get through. Go ahead.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
To throw on 2nd down. Gordon. It's complete. It's Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Packers pick it up. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
they
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught at the 25. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So following the run by Gordon, here's first and 10. He's got the first down here inside the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
From the red zone now, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still second down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Here's Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tariq Cohen with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Buccaneers tack onto their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive.
Now Barkley stripped of the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got Lockett. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
He's going to float this one. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go, defense.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game. He doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. They find some open field here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Now back to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. He'll look to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Bryant is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the 3rd quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And the throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And out across midfield down to the 45.
Let's go. Let's do it.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Cousins now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll try the right side this time, here with Gordon. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They run it here with Gordon. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Third and long for Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Xavier Rhodes sprints in on the corner blitz for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll look to throw here. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Gets past 1 man. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. John Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory, like Tyler Lockett. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
There we go.
Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is Parker, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Miller sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Cousins now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. From 19 yards away, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak, on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Rolling to his right. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he's going to be stopped short of a 1st down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On the return is Cohen. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by a field goal. 1:14 to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, exit. Move.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over 1 minute to go in the game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. He's back to throw. So left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Check. 55 to Mike. Hey, let's get this.
Here's Cousins. Dorsett's got it. Past the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute it.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Second and 11. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. Third down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bucs have just about wrapped up the victory. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do.